I'm Alan Robarge, a relationship coach. Welcome to Improve Your Relationships, where I like to talk about attachment injuries and healing attachment trauma. And on this video, let's talk about secure attachment and creating a securely attached relationship. And very specifically, one characteristic is emotional regulation. So let's talk about emotional regulation, and that when both partners are co-creating a healthier relationship, healthy relating, and striving for secure attachment and coming from a place of being securely attached, they're able to provide some emotional regulation and also to take advantage of or benefit from receiving emotional regulation. Now, in order to talk about this, let's also just introduce the opposite, which is emotional dysregulation. And to begin the conversation, let's just think about the parent-child relationship. The child is growing up in the family. The child is bonding to family members, and very specifically bonding with mom, and that the attachment style that the child's brain is inheriting and being coded into their nervous system and their brain is coming from to a large degree from the interaction between mom and the child, or we could say the primary caregiver. And it's one aspect or one component of a secure attachment style that's developing for the child in the child's brain, has to do with having his or her emotions received, his or her emotions valued and validated, affirmed as a reality, and to have the parent, the primary caregiver, to have mom be able to hold, contain, receive, validate, affirm, and participate in the child's emotional experience. And the very easy example to give is, let's say the child is really upset. And as we know, children, especially in the younger years, when they're crying frequently, the only way they know how to communicate is through crying, and they get upset very easily. So they're feeling, emotionally activated. Mom's job, the primary caregiver's job, is to respond, and to respond in a reasonable amount of time, and to respond in a way that lets the child know mom understands the degree of discomfort, and mom is also simultaneously welcoming the child to have feelings around the emotional distress. And mom is not rushing it. Mom is not forcing to change it. Mom is not getting upset or, irritated, or at least if she is, she's not showing it, leading from that place. And that mom is giving the message. Mom is communicating. Again, it could be any primary caregiver. The caregiver is communicating. It's okay to have emotions. It's okay to be upset, and I'm here for you right now, and I'm going to join with you in this very difficult place of your emotions running all over the place, that there's this range, this intensity, and that we practice, part of socialization, part of maturing, part of being able to get along in the world, is that we have to pull back our emotions, that we have to come back into a state of calm, we have to come back into a state of equilibrium, and we have to contain and hold our emotional experience. And the process of doing that is regulating our emotions, emotional regulation. And the major, if perhaps even the only way that we know how to do this, is that it's a learned skill based upon sitting with other people who have more emotional capacity than we do. And they show us, both literally show us by we observing how they're responding, but also it's energetic, it's a felt sense, it's an emotional quality of being able to manage emotional states in such a way that we can still stay grounded, we can still have a sense of focus and direction, and that we're not going to fly off the handle and, fall into the abyss. Now, a child, an infant who did not get this, a young toddler who did not get this, and life is very scary, life is coming at him or her at all crazy speeds, and things are changing and very upsetting. And if the child does not have the parent to provide comfort and to show that mom can contain the emotion, mom can receive the anger. It's okay to be this upset and this angry. Mom is not going to lose her marbles. Mom is not going to check out. Mom is not going to disappear. Mom is not going to shame you for having feelings. Mom is not going to immediately hush you and tell you not to express yourself. And that the relating, mom joins you in the place when you're upset and you're emotionally activated. And mom is providing, or again, forgive me, I keep saying mom. It could be any primary caregiver, the most important person that helped raise you. When that person enters relating around the emotional content, it's going to help contain and hold the emotional experience that's going to give you comfort, because you'll feel affirmed and valued and validated. And you're going to see that the person that's doing this, the primary caregiver, that when mom is doing this, that mom still likes you. Mom still is available to you even when you have this emotional meltdown. This dynamic, when mom does that, that helps create a secure attachment style. Now, if mom doesn't do that, you're going to experience, the infant, the child, the toddler, is going to experience some emotional dysregulation, and that their nervous system gets blown out, and the intensity of anger, the intensity of fear, the intensity of embarrassment, the intensity of loneliness, the frustration of being a little child and not having the emotional world, the inner landscape of your emotional experience held and understood and engaged with, means you're left on your own. You're left to your own devices. You can't regulate. We learn regulation within, able to work with that on ourselves. But as human beings, how our nervous system is defined, we are not meant to only do this on our own. When I am upset as an adult, when I'm really upset, I need to call somebody. When I'm really upset, I need to leave my apartment and go find a friend and sit down and engage. I need the interaction, the communication, the talking, the looking in the eyes, the breathing together. And the person that you're with, in that example, if it's me, the person that I'm with, his or her body language is also going to mirror back to me that they can see this is urgent, they can see that I'm upset, they can see something is important, and they're going to respond in a way that is going to meet me congruently with the level of intensity that I'm showing up. And so if I show up all frazzled, they mirror back to me that they know I'm frazzled. What's going on? Tell me what's going on. And we start the conversation, and they're going to be on edge. They're going to look alert because I look alert. And what's going to happen is both of us are going to start to calm down. And our nervous systems are going to sync up, which means there's a process, there's a physiological, neurobiological process where our nervous systems are joining together, and we are de-escalating. We are practicing coming back into making the situation manageable, making the emotional intensity manageable. And this process, what I'm talking about, this process is emotional regulation. So 2 parts. Yes, we need to do it for ourselves. We need to have that skill, a kind of self-containment. We need to know how to talk ourselves down and into our own comfort, self-soothing. But we do not live on an island as human beings. We also very, very greatly, an ongoing component of secure, healthy relating is that we have a partner who can hold, contain, connect, and join us in a place to provide emotional regulation. And sometimes this is so done so effortlessly, it's not conscious, we don't think about it. I mean, it's someone who their body language, they just naturally turn towards you. They just naturally put their arm around you. They just naturally smile and look concerned when you're upset. And you do the same thing for your partner in order to create a secure, securely attached, healthy partnership. Both people have the ability and are capable and conscious and understand the value through using their empathy to create a container and to provide emotional regulation for each other. This is a great benefit, even we'll say the purpose of being in relationship, and how our nervous system, our brain, we just feel so much safer in this world. We feel so much more understood when we go through multiple reoccurring experiences of emotional shared emotional regulation. And this is what happens in therapy. This is what happens, especially therapy, where you're working with someone one-on-one together and you're getting to know each other, and there's intimacy and there's connection and there's awareness, tell me more, what's going on. And if someone's upset, I really can feel that you're upset, and I'm upset too. I mean, that's scary stuff. And when that happens, the nervous system syncs up that way. That's a shared experience of emotional regulation. Now, very quickly, let's just again tap into and acknowledge emotional dysregulation. Imagine a partner who does not do that. We know we had an example of imagine when mom doesn't do that, or imagine when primary caregiver doesn't do that. But now let's think about you're in an adult relationship, you're with your partner. Your partner is not picking up on the clues and responding with some congruent, some way of a congruent response to the level of intensity that you are exhibiting. And so they're not able to stay present with you to provide emotional exchange. And so oftentimes we can spin out and we're anticipating, we're waiting, we want the other person to do that. And if they are checked out, if they're shut down, if they reject us, ignore us, if they are avoidant and withholding, our nervous system is still going to be revving and revving. And this degree of emotional charge, emotional overload, yes, we have to go back to self-soothing, and we have to do some emotional regulation on our own. And that's the tradition. I mean, that's what you have to rely on. But I'm acknowledging that if you're with a more insecurely attached partner and you're inclined, that your nature, you're a bit more insecurely attached, that you might bump into some challenges of getting your needs met in this area, and or picking a partner who is challenged to provide that. Imagine you have a partner who just quite simply did not have a parent, a primary caregiver, or a mother who was able to offer him or her some emotional regulation. Then chances are his or her brain and his nervous system, her nervous system, are not coded or don't have the experience, the history to really drop into, to know not only what it's like to provide that for someone, but what it feels like to receive that. So this is a very, very important component of creating a securely attached relationship. It's the ability to understand emotional regulation, and that there is a range and an expression and a degree and an intensity that we experience in our emotional lives, and that we have someone, a partner, who is able to sit with us when we're in that place, and that we're able to sit with our partner when he or she is in that place. And we are designed, our nervous system and brain, our attachment system is designed that when we have a witness, when we have someone who joins us in loving relationship in that place, our nervous systems sync up, and other hormones get triggered and other processes that really allow us to de-escalate and to regulate our emotions, to put things into perspective so that we don't stay in a heightened state of overwhelm, overload, and revving, in emotional intensity. This is a component of secure relating. So please think about this. Please research emotional regulation and look for that in your partner, and be able to share, what is the exchange, and to realize, the degree of the skill set if your partner can or cannot do that. I hope that this video is helpful talking about secure attachment styles. And if you like this video and want to see more just like it, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also, to learn more about me and the community membership website that I'm creating, please go to my website, which is alanrobarge.com, and there's some information there. Thank you for watching this video.